All right, you may see out there some stickers of President Biden that points to high prices at the gas station saying, I did that. And it's got his little picture. See that? There you go, right up there. Anyway, none other than Charlie Hurt wrote about it. Heck of a column. Biden, I did that. Gas pump stickers tell the truth. He joins us now to talk about it with Kayleigh McEnany, outnumbered co-host and former White House press secretary, my colleague, and Charlie Hurt, Washington Times and Fox News. So, Charlie, this is some column. And the thing is, I've raised this before. I don't know why this guy, Biden, spends so much time, I don't know, falsehoods, dodging the truth, lying. I mean, I don't know how, Kayleigh, if you were up there, I don't know how you'd... there's no way to sort of politely, nicely say what he's doing. And the other thing is, I think people see right through it, Charlie. I guess that's another point.
Oh, I think without a doubt, there's no doubt in my mind whatsoever. And that's quite frankly why we see those stickers everywhere, is because people are putting them up because they're sick and tired of listening to other people lie on his behalf or carry his lies and not challenge them. And so that's why they're putting them on the gas pumps everywhere. And I think it's some of the best, truest media that we've got going these days. But honestly, if there is any silver lining to all of this, it's that Joe Biden is presiding over all of these catastrophes, both here at home and in Afghanistan and in Ukraine. He's overseeing all of it, and all of it is a culmination of his 50 years in Washington. This guy, for 50 years, has been Washington's greatest expert on foreign policy, and look what it has led to. And you just had that fascinating discussion just now before the break, and it was all so many great points, and it was all so interesting. But here's the bottom line for me is, it's true. Joe Biden has shown a very weak hand here. But the only thing that could possibly be worse is if Joe Biden decided he was going to really suddenly take a strong hand and go and get in and insert himself into the mess in Ukraine. He's already made a disaster of the whole situation. The only thing that would be worse is if he decided he was going to go over there, I don't know, with troops or something. And could anybody possibly trust him to carry out something complicated like that?
Well, that's a good point. It's a tough point. Kayleigh, you and I work for somebody who wanted to drain the swamp. Biden is somebody, as Charlie Hurt is saying, who is 50 years. He represents the swamp. The contrast couldn't be greater. But I don't know where we go from here, Kayleigh. What's your outlook on this? Because you know what? You and I, all three, we want America to prosper. I said in the last segment, please help us, don't harm us. It just seems like everything they do in this crowd harms us.
Yeah, and he's not leading. I mean, Larry, you talk about the former president. I mean, I've had conversations with people who were in the room when he talked to Putin, when he talked to the head of the Taliban, and they have said in no uncertain terms he used language that we could not repeat here, and the message broke through. And when you contrast that with President Biden, he was on the phone with Putin. It was like a December 7th phone call, I believe. Apparently, he was really tough on Putin, he told us. Well, what did Putin do directly after that phone call, according to Martha Raddatz? He put 10,000 more troops on the border and then proceeded to invade just a few weeks later. He's not getting the message. President Biden now is going to go over to a NATO summit. He's going to Europe. And unfortunately, Charlie, he is going to be taking a pretty strong hand here. And I just don't have confidence in his leadership. But I wish, Larry, to your point, together, we succeed when our president succeeds and the stakes are too high. I wish he would succeed. I just don't have faith. I
mean, just really, really quick, I want to get both of you on this. Can you imagine, Kayleigh, the Saudis and the UAE are not returning Biden's calls? He's put calls into them, Kayleigh, and they are not returning the calls. Now, honestly, can you... To anyone watching this show, love Trump or not love Trump, can you imagine them not returning their calls? Kayleigh, you first, please.
No, because there was a degree of uncertainty. I think Kim Jong-un was uncertain when he was being called Rocket Man exactly what President Trump would do. And that uncertainty led to results. It led to respect. Now we have a president who broadcasts no American troops abroad. They shouldn't go abroad, but don't broadcast it. No sanctions before you invade. He broadcasts the playbook, something my former boss would never have done.
You know, Charlie, I give you the last word. It's an insult to this. It's an insult to America that these countries will not return our president's call. I mean, it's just a flat-out insult.
Yeah. Well, it's an utter humiliation, but they do it because they know that they can get away with it.
And that there'll be no retaliation and no consequences for that behavior.
Right.
Yeah, that's stuff.
Right.
Tough stuff.
And yeah, you can hardly blame them. Sadly.
No, I guess not. Anyway, folks, Biden, I did that. That's the name of Charlie Hurt's columns. Terrific stuff, Washington Times. Kayleigh McEnany, my colleague from the Trump administration. Thanks to both of you. Appreciate it, kids.